Hey, welcome back to more Great Ace Attorney.
Welcome back with probably not aliens.
Sure. Anyway, last time we finished The Adventure of the Great Departure, and this time we're starting on episode 2. Again, I don't know why we couldn't skip ahead to later ones, but oh well.
Because we're just cool like that.
Episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. I believe this is a very interesting and unique episode in all of Ace Attorney for a reason that will become clear when we are done with it.
Is it because we're on a boat?
Unbreakable Specky Bam.
That's related to it. Yes, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. I have to start assigning voices again.
Well,
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me.
Wanna do it?
The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Nice of them to give a defined voice to the dead guy.
On board the
Buria.
steamship Buria. Alright. Oh, whoops.
So, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
What about stomach?
So the victim was a Russian man then, and the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
What?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Do they?
I guess
that
they
accent
changed
for
the tone.
Susato. That accent for Susato was quite different from the one I had given her. I might have to try to figure out what that is and replicate it if I can hear more of a voice.
My head is throbbing. What's going on? Nothing's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Got so wasted last night. Wait, I can't move. Kill someone again? What the? Am I in handcuffs? Get that kinky?
So you wake up now, hmm? Oh, no, never mind. Wrong guy. Random sailor. Ben.
Okay. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe.
Is he French?
He was Russian, but I can't do Russian, so I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are true cold-blooded man.
You. You found me then.
We found you, and now you pay. Criminal.
Criminal with a K.
How long are you hiding? Are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe?
Sorry. I didn't mean to come out of the closet just yet.
Now you have been found. It's time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is.
No, I'll tell you everything.
What the hell?
Isn't that...
There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. I swear they did some kind of northern thing, so gonna have to try to pivot. I didn't hear it very well, but why did you do it? Why did you take his life?
Miss Susato! Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? It's Kazuma.
You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body?
Oh. Please. Do not try to do as you are doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
I was busy doing some other terrible thing. Kazuma's dead? He can't be! These handcuffs. Surely you don't think I
have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please!
No.
Oh.
No!
Oh, good. I don't have to voice Kazuma anymore. It's not like it was hard on my voice or anything, but still.
Kazuma. He gets to voice his ghost now. It was just 2 short weeks ago. There he is. You sure about this? When we get in trouble?
Don't you find it fun, stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study?
It's really something else where they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. Made that Russian crewman and just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. Thought I was going to die.
Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look.
Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to the cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
A sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
For a faithful judicial assistant, Mikitoba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I believe she'd give me away.
No. But if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this.
I suppose so.
Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there. I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze.
Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? I'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper?
What?
Huh. I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside.
I don't know. That explains that one. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be on this adventure to England together.
We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer.
No, I'm not a murderer.
You said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Oh,
Very well.
those Russians.
There is something I'd like to ask of you, too.
Those eyes. It looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? Isn't he? Hasn't he? Is it just a bad dream? And these handcuffs. Think I did it? Think I'm Kazuma's killer? He was the one who handcuffed me.
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the... This is turning into West Country, that's not good. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
Magic? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. It's that I've already been accused of murder once. I'm used to it by now.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
You don't know how he died?
Ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then?
That's true, yes.
Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside in his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door? I wonder.
I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. This accent is a fucking mess, I can't do this. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
To the viewers at home, Sama denotes a great deal of respect. The white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. Hard to believe, I guess.
This is all very hard for me, very hard to believe for me too, trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. Oh, my head feels so heavy, still throbbing like anything.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. 2 weeks since we left Japan now. I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you? But why?
Because we were to be married. I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
I don't understand.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? What are such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? I'll tell you when you're older.
It's the idea that's been on my mind since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but didn't think it was serious.
You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer.
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Oh, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level. If you were to become a lawyer, then...
Then what?
Nothing. Forget it.
Being awfully sus right now.
Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. Look in his eyes then. It's darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean.
If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact.
Word perfect 95.
If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin?
I can't say that in front of a lady.
Here in this cabin.
The thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I...
Fell asleep?
Well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? I can't. This is so hard. I really apologize to any Northern or Scottish
Just do the voice you were doing before.
No.
Just do the voice you were doing before.
No. Because it's gonna switch to cutscene again. She's gonna have the other voice. It's gonna be weird. Who
cares?
I'll just watch a bunch of Lemmy clips or something.
Well, yes. No, it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do, but it's the truth.
Besides, I should probably diversify a little because we're gonna get a lot of fucking British characters. So.
Oh.
It's a perfect
If I
excuse.
had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like
Wow, it's
anything.
almost like you were drugged or something. Really?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's... Please forget it.
Sato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it!
I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this.
Maybe you did it.
Glasgow is full of sticky bombs.
Excuse me, they say Glasgow's full... No, fuck. They say Glasgow's full of specky bombs, let's find out. Excuse me, is it true Glasgow's full of specky bombs? Fuck off, you prick. What? Yeah.
Kazuma, I don't understand. Did you write in Russian? I missed a line.
I thought you saw it.
Why did this have to happen? I can't take this!
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave, I can't allow that to happen.
Sorry. Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. I'm supposed to just sit around my hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
Going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. To work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me.
Hiya!
What the?
That was a Susato takedown.
Susato what? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry? Prove it.
Yes, you're innocent. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence.
What do I even have?
While I'm handcuffed. Have to get Susato-san to believe me. Let's show some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. I always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. Though naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Ah, yes of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Well, not impossible, but...
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I don't know how they fucking say it, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Do you think perhaps you could help me up?
Sprawled so blur.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry. No.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
Does she think I am a magician?
Yes, actually.
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san.
I think I've landed on something okay. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right. We haven't invented spirit mediums yet. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, will avenge your death.
Okay, so the thing that makes this unique is that we're dealing with maritime law and not like a country law.
No.
No?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have been broken clean in two.
The glass is such a beautiful colour. Looks like a cute little Nitsuke fastener from a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he?
And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly.
Ah, yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Tutorial time. I'm sure you're careful to look all around using the D-pad, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
All corners, meaning two. Yes, let's do that. Suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage.
That means wardrobe.
Oh.
Does it?
Huh?
Does it?
Does.
I didn't know you could read Cyrillic. Well, hang on, let me see. Garderobe. I don't know that last character.
It's a B.
Garderobe? Oh, wardrobe. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Fair. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it.
Suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner. I can't read your writing.
The voice actor can.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it? I thought that was the only language in the world.
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
Not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder?
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh no, I suppose not. Though it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in, so, like, don't smell inside it. But, yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. Last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
Sadly not.
This is... Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Great Britain. I can't fucking talk. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Servants. Fuck me.
Really? That sounds almost
Servants.
magical. Shall we give it a try?
Yes, in the interests of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
No, Michelle's just said everyone is busy. That's all.
Vented! I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
It's a little sus.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
If its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that.
I suppose maybe that's it.
Whoops.
Investigated
No,
thoroughly,
that's
but
just the generic nothing here message.
the books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once.
I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, what do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage?
I wouldn't bother leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. The way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Well, it's the crime scene, you can't mess with it. Destruction of justice! These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria.
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide.
One thing for sure. The way I wasn't supposed to be in here.
And then why do you have a sword?
He's cool like that.
That's a very large travelling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
That's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese.
In hindsight, I should have realized that foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. It's turned over and over and over. And then I was tossed on the floor, tossed on the floor in here.
Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. So I learned I could blow myself.
When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. It just slides across to secure the door shut. Still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. No wonder everyone suspects me. She glares at me like that. I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
It glares me like that I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine.
I'll talk to him last, I think.
Seigi, Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Great.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet you... Can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stored away on the ship?
You're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. It bothers me that we're not getting any evidence.
That's Kazuma-sama's
Yeah.
precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
Pardon me?
That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible.
Oh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Oh,
Uh,
table.
that might be everything except the guy. Give me one more.
Lamb. Oh.
One last moment to sweep the room. Oh, no, there's the desk, of course. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. Writing.
London Diary. Oh, Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing where the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Also, want to look at this private letter.
Yeah! That's out of the question. Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Right, alright, I won't read it.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. In this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Oh. Who's that? It wasn't there a minute ago. As I can tell, it looks like he might be European.
Oh, how did he...
You've noticed the man too, have you?
It's hard not to.
No idea who he is or how he got in there, but looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press A on people while they're in the crosshairs, you can kind of converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sight and see what he has to say for himself.
I'm not actually sure myself what the fuck the A button is, but
Oh, please do.